to identify my craft, how to hone in on my craft, and how to sharpen that craft. College, it was so funny. Like, we would go to these major cities, and these guys that I was with, like, they were like, theology majors, and they would like speak at these different places, and I wasn't good enough.
Put your shoes on and go. Eric Thomas's powerful speech on success. You have this strange belief in your head that if you think about the future for a long time, some miraculous answer or solution will appear that will inspire you to follow through with the action. If you just work hard enough at it, sooner or later it will come back to fruition. However, thinking is the least effective strategy for achieving the results you seek. You can make a decision by thinking about it, or you can establish a plan to think about it. I keep telling myself, I really ought to start a business. Creating a strategy to make a decision is as simple as saying, I'm going to build my website on Monday, and then following through with that decision once Monday arrives, even if it's just for half an hour. The method is straightforward. First, you devise a strategy for pulling the trigger, and then, having done so, you cross your fingers and hope for the best. Because you can't be sure that your future self even knows what they want, it's pointless to waste time trying to get everything in order in the present. You speculate with the greatest information you have, and you begin to actually do. And then the results show you the reality of the situation. Even if you're unsuccessful, at least you will have the opportunity to find out rather than simply speculate. I'm not suggesting that you act on every whim or that you have zero regards for the future in any way, shape, or form. I would like to encourage you to acknowledge that the thinking component of the equation accounts for 10% of the process. The remaining 90% is made up of action. Put on your shoes and go. You need to start working now before it's too late. This is the only way you can step up on the path to success.
So I would speak at like the flea markets. I think for me, because somebody spoken to me when I was about 17 years old, and they literally saw this. Like, when I was 17, sleeping in abandoned buildings, not taking showers, eating out of trash cans, they were like, yo, you got something. And I was like, well, what is that? It's an older man who was like, yo, you can do it. So he helped me to get my GED, sent me out to college. His name was P.C. Willis. He was a pastor at a local church that I kind of went to every now and then with one of my homeboys. And it was just unbelievable. He helped me get my GED, sent me 780 miles away from Detroit, and I just got in a new environment in college. And once I got there, I was just like, I was so grateful that I had to pay it forward. So I was like, yo, what this guy did for me, I've got to do unto others. And that's what I've been doing, just speaking life into people who just don't believe that they can do it. So many people think that like you have to have a mother or a father in your life. Like, you have to go to a certain school. You have to, and I don't believe that. I believe when you wake up and you're ready to like live, at that point, I can help you to get from where you are to where you want to be. And that's why I say, some people think, when you look at certain successful people, maybe their fathers passed something down or their mothers passed down. It's like, no, it doesn't make a difference if they pass it down or not. Everybody's got to wake up and grind. And if you're willing to work like they're willing to work, you can have whatever you want. But in America, and it was funny, I was just recently in an interview or had an opportunity to do a luncheon with Warren Buffett, and he was just saying that, this is the greatest country to be born in. This is the greatest time, to be born, in this particular country, social media, economics, just opportunities. I'm the American dream. I represent, what so many people from my community represent. A mom who had me out of wedlock, pregnant at 17 years old. My grandmother kicked her out, not because she didn't love her, but my grandmother kicked her out because she had 14 kids in like a 2-3 bedroom house. And my grandmother was like, I just can't afford to feed another mouth. So moms was homeless. So when I say the American dream, you're talking about not just my generation, but my mother, trying to finish high school and, getting a job in Detroit, working for Ford Motor Company. So, the journey started with my mom, and I took it from, my mom to an entrepreneur. But, I eventually dropped out of high school. I was homeless for about 2.5 years. And, through education, I think is where, I got my turnaround. I'm not saying degrees. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about, going to school and really learning how to identify my craft, how to hone in on my craft, and how to sharpen that craft.